Welcome back to Morning Markets, and thank you so much for being here, by the way. We always appreciate the attention of our viewers. We're back with Jeff Hull for one more time. He's got lots on his mind, as always, and we talked about NVIDIA, perhaps the flagship of the AI stocks. Quantum computing is another thing that's out there. Robots are another thing that's out there. How should investors think about these technological trends?
Well, really, they're transformative. What it's going to do for humanity, for education, science, medicine is going to be absolutely incredible. AI is doing so much work already for humans, but in the coming years, as quantum computing, that ability for a computer to be 1,000,000 times faster than today's computers is going to just revolutionize everything that we do in the way science, AI is deployed, and also even in the military. Whoever ultimately gets to the best quantum down the road is probably going to be the world's major military superpower. That could be China, that could be the US. But very, very important that way. But there's a lot of interesting things. I'm more worried about job displacement with AI as an example.
How worried are you about that? I think a lot of ordinary people are worried about that as well.
Yeah, like 10 years ago, a lot of university students thought coding would be great, but now AI can code itself. So it's almost an obsolete profession almost right now. They just need a human for the initial inspiration, as an example. You got other things like, 30 years ago, robots displaced a lot of blue-collar factory assembly jobs, as an example. But AI is different. It's actually going to displace a lot of white-collar jobs now, where AI can actually be so efficient and add all those layers of benefit to companies that they may start laying off that. Now, we can always joke that, there's going to be robots and they can oil and wax and wash them, but that's not really a great profession.
Yeah.
So people are going to have to make sure their job for the future is one that's going to be around. And I mean, that's why even some of the trades for young people, plumbing, electrical, it's not going to be a robot doing that anytime soon. So people have to really not just choose what they're doing today. It's like we talked earlier about Wayne Gretzky, about going where the puck was going to be. People need to think about employment for the future and where's the best areas going to be that's not going to be displaced or disrupted from something like AI.
What's your take on self-driving vehicles? A couple of very prominent publicly traded stocks, Uber and Alphabet, are pushing that initiative. What do you think of that? And from a societal point of view, do you think we're going to be in self-driving cars in the next 10 years? And from an investor point of view?
Yeah, a couple of things. And Tesla is part of that major mix as well. NVIDIA is the partner, the dance partner for all of them, for how much knowledge and information coming into a car with LiDAR and all these other technologies for a car to be self-autonomous driving, as an example. But I'll tell you where the interesting thing is with all of those, as an example, is during COVID, a lot of people had a side hustle. They might sign up for Lyft or Uber and drive on the side for a few hours here and there. With the new self-driving cars, most people's cars are only driven 2% of the time and sit dormant for 98% of the time. Now you can go send your car to work, and it can go do a self-driving and become a taxi on an app for, say, Tesla in the future, and your car will go out and earn for you while you're either sleeping or at work. It's not a bad thing that way. So again, there's a lot of opportunities coming, but anything with innovation, advancement, technology, anything that makes things better and faster will add an incredible layer of benefit for the future.
What about healthcare? When you think about AI, it's hard not to be very optimistic about what AI could do to the battle against cancer, for instance, or other horrible diseases. Surgery is interesting as well. I know there's a stock you follow very closely, Intuitive Surgical.
Yeah, it's an interesting one as well. They do surgeries on humans, not the robot. It's actually joysticks in that the actual surgeons will use, but they don't have to be in the same room as the patient, which is good for a COVID scenario. They don't have to be in the same hospital or country. It can be done over 5G, and these robot surgeons are very finite. They can do things that the human hands can't, as an example, because even holding a scalpel, you have your pulse going through and the breathing of your shoulder. Robots don't do that. They can move in micromillimeters. Fascinating and a great advancement for the future for humans as well.
Where else should people be looking? What sectors of the economy should people be looking, investors be looking for the effects of AI?
I think the biggest thing is figure out who's the arms dealer of AI. Right now, it's NVIDIA all day long. It tends to be the dance partner for almost the entire Fortune 500. So kind of look where the biggest companies, the Metas, the Microsofts, the Googles, the Amazon, where are they picking up and partnering with? And it tends to be NVIDIA. But don't forget about the little hidden companies underneath NVIDIA. They might be partners or distributors that are kind of off everybody's radar. They grow alongside NVIDIA, but aren't the brand name. And sometimes you get those at better bargain.